Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I am sharing with you November's round of Rotating Decks, my TBR game, where I have Uno cards help me pick my prompts to create part of my monthly TBR. So, October has been a pretty good reading month for me. Let me tell you how I've done so far. You know that I've been participating in the Camp Crystal Lake Readathon that's hosted by Barb from Barb's Bookland. I've been really enjoying my reads for that. And I will say that my reading has kind of gotten off track because I've been trying to read towards the readathon. But as far as the TBR game goes, I have finished Used Book. So for Used Book, I had said I was going to read Frostbite, which is the second book in the Vampire Academy series by Rochelle Mead. I have finished this one, so that's great. I also had manga series 10 plus volumes, and for this one I was going to read the 14 volumes of Devil's Line, so that's the entirety of Devil's Line by Ryo Hanada. I am 11 volumes in, so I've got 3 more volumes left. I am filming this on October 22nd, so I do foresee that I have enough time to finish out this series. So 3 more volumes within the next week. I think I should be fine. So I'm going to go ahead and count this one as a pass. And then the last card I had for October was a Humble Bundle read. This I have not actually picked up yet, but for this one I said I was going to read Museum. And I will read at least 1 volume of that series, so I'm intending on passing this as well. I'll hopefully finish the entire series since there is only 3 volumes. But as long as I read 1, I'm going to go ahead and count that as a pass. So as far as the game goes today, I am not going to be pulling a punishment prompt. If I do need to do one, I will be doing that in my DCIS 19 diaries for the week. So if I do need to pick a punishment prompt, check that video and I will do a punishment prompt there if I need to. But I don't think I'm going to need to. I'm feeling really good about where I am as far as those prompts go. So as far as November goes, I do not have any plans for readathons. So that's great because I really wanted to do a personal challenge, which is to do Light Novel November, where I focus my reading on light novels for the entire month of November. Light novels are something that I often collect and then fail to read. For whatever reason, whenever I'm choosing my books for these prompts for the TBR game, I don't ever think about light novels. I think about regular novels and I think about manga, but light novels never ever cross my mind. So I really want to get some of my light novels read. And what better way to make sure that I do that than to focus my reading on light novels in the month of November. So I'm going to try to be fitting in light novels in the prompts that I pull for my game. And let's just hope that the game works to my favor this month. So let me switch you over to the gameplay right now, and I will be back with you in a bit to share with you what I've pulled for those prompts. Okay, so here is the setup for November's round of Rotating Decks. We are still using the Disney Parks set that we changed to in the last round. So as per usual, I have already shuffled the deck, so I'm going to have my daughter cut the deck so that you know that I don't know what is on the top of this deck, and let's hope that it's not as adventurous as it was in October. Okay, so we're going to pull 3 cards as per usual. Let's get this started. First card is... that is a green 3. And the prompt is, this says prior commitment. So that usually means something like an arc or something that I was supposed to have read. I would even consider one of my annual goal type things that I haven't done yet to be one of those. So just something that I had priorly committed to that I did not read yet. So that's our first prompt. The second prompt will be, that is a reverse. So we are going to not do the prior commitment card and redo this one. So the first prompt will be, that is a green 8. And the prompt is highest rated. So that technically means that I need to read something that's the highest rated on my Goodreads. Not necessarily the highest rated one, but of the highest rated books on my Goodreads. So we'll look into that in a bit. The next prompt will be a green 2. Lots of greens today. And the prompt is something from Kindle Unlimited. So that will work pretty well for what I have planned for this month. And our last prompt, hopefully, will be, that is a red 0. So that means that I do not have to pick a prompt, that I just have to pick something and read that. So no prompt, but I do need to pick something to read, so it's basically a free read. So that is awesome. Some red and green for the holiday season coming up. So that is what the round looks like for the month of November. That's not too bad. It looks like I should be able to fit what I have plans for in the month into these prompts. So that is great. So let me go pick out what I will be reading for these prompts, and I will be back in a bit to share with you what I have chosen. Okay, so I did get a little bit scared there when we pulled the reverse, because you know what happened last month. But thankfully, the game seems to have worked in my favor this month. So let me tell you what I pulled for those prompts. But first, I do have some other mandatory reads for the month, which include my reads for the Monochrome Manga Club, in real life manga club that I host at a local Barnes & Noble. So for the Monochrome Manga Club, we always read 2 first in a series reads and 2 series reads. So right now we are reading through Demon Slayer, Kimetsu no Yaiba. So we will be reading volumes 9 and 10. This one is by Koyoharu Gotoge and is published by Viz rated teen. And then we will also be continuing our series read of Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon in the Eternal Edition by Naoko Takeuchi with volume 8. This one's published by Kodansha, rated teen. So as far as our first in the series reads go, we will be reading volume 1 of Jujutsu Kaisen by Gege Akutami. This one is published by Viz, rated older teen. This was by popular vote from my manga club members. It apparently follows a high school guy who's resolved to save the world from cursed demons, but soon learns that the best way to do it is to slowly lose his humanity and become one himself. That's about all I know about this series. If you know me, you know I stay away from hype series with a 10-foot pole, but because my manga club members really wanted to read this one, I decided to go ahead and choose it for a monthly selection, and so we will be reading that. And our other first in a series selection will be volume 1 of Mission Yazakura Family. This one is by Hitsuji Gondaira, published by Viz, rated teen. This one follows our 2 main characters here on the cover. Taiyo is an orphan, and he really only has his childhood friend Mutsumi that cares for him. Mutsumi is actually from a family of spies, and when her parents are taken out, she becomes the head of the family. And that's just how it goes in this family. It's passed down to the oldest female of the family. And obviously she's a high school student. And so because of this, a lot of other spy families are seeing the opportunity to take out the Yazakura family. And so the only way to solidify her place is as the head of this family is to marry. And so that's where Taiyo comes into the picture. So this story kind of follows not only the relationship between Mutsumi and Tayo, but Tayo also learning about Mutsumi's family and how to, like, not only keep himself safe, but keep Mutsumi safe and the other dealings of the family. So Mutsumi's family is actually pretty big. There are lots of interesting characters within her family. I did read this, or several chapters of it, on the Shonen Jump app when it first started releasing on there in the free chapters. I actually fell off and wasn't able to keep up with the free chapters, and so I haven't read from this series in a while, but what I did read, I really enjoyed. So I'm glad that this is finally out in a physical copy, because I really wanted to have it for my collection, and I'm really excited to be able to reread this series with the Manga Club members and see what they think, and also to see if what I remember of this series still feels the same for me. So yeah, really looking forward to that one. So that's what we will be reading for the Monochrome Manga Club. Something I should probably mention is that if you are interested in reading the Monochrome Manga Club selections, you can now come chat about them in our Discord. So we normally meet in person, but because of the holidays and things like that, the store did not want to have in-person meetings because of the Christmas rush and things like that. So we decided to move our meeting online, and hence the Discord was born. So if you'd like to read any of the Monochrome Manga Club selections and chat about them with us, you can join our Discord. The only thing I ask is that you keep your thoughts and comments clean, because I do have children, like under the age of 10, who have joined the Discord and chat about the titles with us. So just be aware of that. And yeah, the link to the Discord is down in the description box below. Feel free to read any of those selections or any of last month's selections as well. You can chat with us in our threads there. That takes care of the Monochrome Manga Club. So let's get into the prompts that I picked up for my rotating decks game. So the first card we got was a green 8. This is that card again. I think that's the Avatar ride. If I'm not correct, please correct me, because I do not know what the Avatar ride looks like. It's been over 10 years since I've been to Disney World, and the Avatar ride was just being built at that time, or they were like planning for it. So I haven't been there since the Avatar ride's been open. But anyway, that card brought me highest rated. And so for this card, we will head over to my Goodreads and take a look at the highest rated books on my want to read shelf. So let's head over there right now. Okay, so here we are on my Goodreads. We're going to try to find my highest rated books. So I have already gone to my want to read shelf. I have it set to average rating. And we are going to look through the top 10 of these highest rated books and see which ones I can read. So obviously this top one up here, I Want to Be a Wall Volume 2, is not even out yet, so that is not an option. Fruits Basket Volume 11, I am not up to that volume yet, so can't do that one. Heaven Official's Blessing number 2, I haven't read Volume 1 yet, so that won't work. Heroes of Olympus box set. No, we don't do box sets. I'm currently in the middle of Son of Neptune, though, but I don't want to put a half-read book on my game, just because. Fullmetal Alchemist 3-in-1 Volume 9, I can't read that because I've only read the 3-in-1 Volume 1 so far. Volume 10 is not the one that I need to read next. Volume 12 is also not. Volume 9 is, though. But I can see this, so I believe that's number 9. If I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Heaven Official's Blessing Volume 1 is number 9. And since I'm doing light novel November, this is a light novel, and so I will choose that one. Okay, so the selection was Heaven Official's Blessing, Volume 1 by Mo Jiang Tongzhu, MXTX. Not sure if I pronounced that right, but I know they shorten it to MXTX in store. This is the light novel, as you can see. This is pretty thick, but I will say that the back part of this book is a character and name guide, and that is pretty long. So we've got about this much a character and name guide. So it is still pretty thick. This one follows a guy who is renowned for his beauty, strength, and purity, and years of dedicated study and noble deeds allow him to ascend to godhood. He ends up doing this 3 times. And then, he falls from grace and then builds up and then becomes god status again 3 times. To which it angers the gods. So he is sent to the mortal realm to hunt down violent ghosts and troublemaking spirits who prey on the living. And along his travels, he meets another man to which he feels an instant connection. But this man has a mystery behind his carefree smile. At least that's what it says. So I've been really interested in checking out this series since this novel was released. So I'm really looking forward to finally getting this one read. It was one of the ones that was on my radar for Light Novel November, so I'm really glad that it was within the top 10 of the highest rated on my to-read list, so that's great. Plus, my daughter's really interested in reading this as well, so I think she will also be reading this one during the month, and then we'll be able to chat about it with each other. So that's what I'm going to be choosing for my highest rated novel. Then I got a green 2, and that is the Epcot ball. I don't know exactly what that's called, but this is an Epcot. And for that one, we got Kindle Unlimited. So as far as I know, there are no light novels on Kindle Unlimited. I did look a little bit, and there were some, but none of them really caught my attention. And so I decided to just go with a manga that is available on Kindle Unlimited. So I'm going to read Volume 4 of Real Account. I believe Real Account is by Okusho and is published by Kodansha, rated older teen. This is a series that is set in a world where there is this social media platform called Real Account. It's kind of like Facebook and Twitter and some other things combined into one. And so, you get, followers and things like that. And one day, a bunch of the Real Account users get swept into this, alternate kind of reality, another, place. In that place, they meet a guy who has, a marble type look to his mask. I think they even call him Marble. And forgive me because I read the first volume of Real Account a really long time ago, which is why I want to get back to this series. But basically, Marble tells them, okay, we're going to play this death game. Basically what happens is if you lose all of your followers, you die. So they're set against each other to complete all of these missions, play these games, and it's broadcast to their followers. And so some of the things that the people do to win these games are kind of uncouth, and then their followers don't agree with them and they unfollow. Well, like I said, if you end up with 0 followers, you die. And that's exactly what happens in this story. So we do follow one particular character and his kind of journey through this game. From what I remember, in Volume 3, which is the volume that I last read, there was a kind of a big revelation there. So I'm really looking forward to reading volume 4 and finding out more. If I feel like I need to go back and read the first 3 volumes again, I will, because manga is not that difficult to do that with. But I really enjoyed what I read of this series so far, and I really want to catch up and read more of these volumes because it was really interesting, the things that had happened, especially with that drop of information that happened in the last volume, like I said. So that is what I will be reading. I will be borrowing it from Kindle Unlimited, and yes. So that brings us to our last card, which was a red 0. This is the Tower of Terror. My daughter loved this ride. 0, no matter what color it is, 0 means I don't have to read any prompt for this card, but I do need to read something. So it's basically a free choice, but I do need to read something to fulfill this card. And so after talking to my daughter, we decided that I was going to read Bungo Stray Dogs, Volume 1, Osamu Dazai's Entrance Exam by Kafka Asagiri, illustration by Sango Harukawa. This is the light novel version of Bungo Stray Dogs story. This is a prequel, I believe, which follows Osamu Dazai and Doppo Kunikita, who's this character here, and something that happened before the series of Bungo Stray Dogs started. So I'm looking forward to this. My daughter has already read this one, so I'll be able to chat with her about this when I finish. Plus, it's not that big, and I really enjoy Bungo Stray Dogs, the anime, and what I've read so far of the manga. And so, yes, looking forward to this one. So I was able to get 2 light novels out of the 3 of my prompts, so that's great. A couple other light novels I have on my radar for the month are Volume 1 of Spy Classroom, Lily of the Garden. This is by Takemachi. Illustrations by Tomari. This one is published by Yen On, rated ages 16 and up. I probably should have told you what the age rating on these 2 were also. So, Heaven Official's Blessing is rated 17 plus, so I presume there's going to be some spicy material in here. And then Bungo Stray Dogs is rated ages 13 and up, so that's teen. By Classroom is 16 and up, so that's older teen. So this one says intelligence is the most dangerous weapon. Following a devastating military conflict, countries fight their wars in the shadows. One unusual spy, Klaus, has never failed on the job despite his quirks, and he's building a team to take on an impossible mission, one with over a 90% chance of failure. However, his chosen members are all washouts with no practical experience. They'll have to use every trick in the book, and some that aren't, to prove they're up to the task. So, I have a few volumes of this, so I thought I should probably put that one on the radar. Plus, I'm really enjoying spy-type stories lately. So I thought that would be a good one. Plus, I have more volumes in case I really get into it and want to read more. I have Volume 1 of The King of the Dead and the Dark Palace by Tsuki Kage. Illustrations by Meron Tomari. This one is published by Yen On, rated ages 16 and up, so that's older teen. This follows a sickly boy who passes away from an illness, and he awakens as a lonely undead named End. But he ends up finding out that he is kind of beholden to the necromancer who awoken him. And so now, in order to gain his true freedom, he'll need to overcome the many obstacles in his way, starting with his dark master. So I picked this one up a while ago. I had actually put it on another TBR, thinking that I was going to get to it then, but I never did. And so I really am kind of feeling that one at the moment right now too. Plus, I have the Haunted Bookstore, Volume 1, Gateway to a Parallel Universe. This one's by Shinobu Maru. Published by 7 Seas, rated teen, so that's 13 and up. This one follows a bookstore that is the provider of books to people from the spirit realm. And so it follows a girl who lives with her adoptive father in this bookstore. Well, she comes across another boy, and he's an exorcist, and he is the natural enemy of all the spirits. So basically all the people that come to the bookstore to purchase books. And so can she convince this exorcist that the line between humans and spirits are far hazier than he thinks? So it says it's a touching supernatural tale where humanity and Japanese folklore intertwine. So I've had my eye on this series for a while. Also, I do have a couple other volumes in this title as well. So this might be a good one to sink my teeth into for November. And the last one I have here that's been on my radar for a bit is Volume 1 of The Detective is Already Dead. This one is by Nigyozu and illustrations by Umibozu. This one's published by Yen On, rated ages 16 and up, so that is older teen. This says when the story begins without its hero. So Kimihiko Kimizuka has always been a magnet for trouble and intrigue. For as long as he can remember, he's been stumbling across murder scenes or receiving mysterious attaché cases to transport. When he met Siesta, a brilliant detective fighting a secret war against an organization of pseudo-humans, he couldn't resist the call to become her assistant and join her on an epic journey across the world. Until a year ago, that is. Now he's returned to a life that is normal and tepid by comparison, knowing the adventure must be over. After all, the detective is already dead. So, I've had my eye on this series for a while. I have a couple of volumes of this one also. So, I think that one might be a good one to jump into as well. I know all of these are volume 1s, but considering that I don't have very many series or very many light novels that are standalones that I'm feeling pulled towards right now, I think my best option to try to get as many light novels read as I can in the month of November will be to try one of these series, and if I'm really into it, just continue along with that series. So I think that's what my game plan is going to be for the month of November. Please feel free to read light novels with me in the month of November. I'd love to have the camaraderie, and please help keep me accountable to sticking on my light novel journey. And let me know down in the comments below if you will be joining me on this journey, what you will be reading in the month. Also, let me know if you will be participating in any readathons, because I would be really interested to know. If nothing else, you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me a magnifying glass emoji down in the comments below, that would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye.